Hello and welcome to Black Cats Chat, the international fans podcast for Sunderland AFC. My name is Lee, I'm in Bilbao, and after a fucking shit day, I've got my two guests waiting here. It's Justin Warner in Toronto, Canada from SAFC NASA. Justin, how are you?
Oh, peachy, mate.
Oh, peachy. Yeah, I thought you'd say that. And our other guest is like Dermot Ledwith. He's in Madrid, 3 hours and a half down the road from me in Bilbao. Dermot, how are you, mate?
Yeah, not so bad despite that performance at West Ham, but yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, well, I think there's only one thing to say, lads. Thanks for coming on. How are the lads? See you next time. No, seriously, in the Yorkshire accent, as my mum would say, that were fucking shy. Justin, I think the news that broke out with Granit Xhaka being out, I think that was just a huge loss. I mean, I received an audio message from our Sean Coxon in New Jersey, fucking 3 o'clock this morning. Xhaka's out for 3 weeks. So you got some inside info, and I thought, that's not good. So people were saying pre-match, Justin, let's see how we do without Xhaka. I think it kind of showed, didn't it, when we conceded the first, and then the second, and then the third before half-time. It was a massive loss, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't like to say it was all down to Xhaka. I think Reggie got the formation horribly wrong today. And I think he, as a result, picked the wrong side. We had players, the good old Sunderland, we had round pegs in square holes yet again. And yeah, it was going to be an interesting one, and it just didn't work for us at all. I mean, Hume, you've got the formation there. Hume was essentially the right midfield, but he was all over the place, and he was all over the place, giving the ball away an awful lot as well, which just put us behind the ball from the get-go. So yeah, it was just a very, very bad day at the office, particularly in the first half.
Yeah. So Dermot just mentions there that you'd like to think it wasn't just down to the Xhaka missing, but what are your thoughts on the loss?
Well, I think everyone has always said that he's been such an important player for us this season, and we all, anyone who's watched us agrees, and we all agree. And you ask me every month who your player of the month is, and I always say Granit Xhaka, because it has been every month, basically, despite all the good performances from everyone else. So before the game, I was kind of interested to see what we'd do. Obviously, it was going to be a big loss, but I thought we would. I had high hopes that we'd be able to show that we could play without Granit Xhaka. And from that first half performance, after the first 5 minutes, where we were good.
There he goes. It's only taken you 4 minutes to fucking move around and buffer.
I haven't moved. I'm not moving at all. Have I buffered, have I? I'm on buffering.
A little bit, but go on, continue. We can still hear you.
Yeah. I thought what we did was that we don't normally do is we actually decided from kickoff to take the game to West Ham that we don't normally do away from home. What we have been doing away from home is try and stay in the game as long as we possibly can. Start off cagey, play it cagey. I think we went for it the first couple of minutes, almost got something with a Siddiqui shot.
Yeah.
And then after that, did nothing for the rest of the first half.
We had the Hume header. We had the Hume header, didn't we? But I mean, that was just like what? Not really a chance, wasn't it? Really.
Well, it could have been. You know, if he got it a couple of inches further down and got it into the back of the net from a strange angle, we could have been level at 1-1 straight away. But you know, the TV commentators, it was all about West Ham, how good West Ham were playing. I don't think West Ham played that particularly better than us in the first half. They got a quite a lucky penalty as well, and then a third goal that was unstoppable. But in general and overall, to sum up what we're going to talk about, I think we've found out today how important Granit Xhaka is.
Mm-hmm. Justin, you mentioned before that you think that Reggie got it wrong today. I mean, obviously hindsight's easy and all that. But like,
100%, yeah.
what do you think he could have done different with the players he had available? I mean, if we look at the bench there, Crowder was on the bench. I mean, I'm surprised that he didn't really start today to be the player that replaces Xhaka. But I mean, you got Diarra back in the squad. You got Talby back in the squad. Possibly could he have brought one of them in? I mean, Diarra thought he looked okay when he came on.
Yeah, he looked bright when he came on. I mean, I wouldn't have played 4-4-2. I think is the obvious one. And we've pretty much been set up as a 4-5-1, 4-3-3 for the whole season, with occasionally going 4-4-2 when we're chasing the game. But it just didn't work. The press wasn't there. There was no support from the midfield for the defence either. So, I mean, the first goal will come to, I'm sure, but I mean, Ronaldo got stood up by Bowen, and Mukiele got isolated, ball watching at the back post, and right back and left back were real problems for us in the first half. They were just running at us at will, and we just couldn't cope with it at all. And that was partly because Hume was going walkabout on the right, and Mundell had one of his poorest games for the club, I would say, today. Normally he puts a shift in defensively. He just did nothing today. He was doing nothing going forward, and he was doing nothing going back either. So yeah, I mean, and Ronaldo was unlucky to get one. He was lucky to stay on the pitch.
Yeah.
But he was unlucky in as much as he was getting isolated and had no support. So you could see his frustration was building, because he was just left isolated alone an awful lot. So yeah, I think the formation was the key contributor to our woes in the first half.
Yeah. On that point of Reinildo, I mean, it was all down to his own doing, because he decided to take the throw-in quickly. He didn't need to take the throw-in quickly. He threw it to Mundell. Mundell lost the ball, and I thought he was very lucky, Dermot, to stay on the pitch. I thought the referee could have easily given him a yellow card for that.
Well, he should have got a yellow card. He should have got a second yellow card for the. He put a foot in, didn't he? Late in the first half as well.
That's the one I'm talking about. I mean, that's like basically he took the throw in quickly. Yeah. He didn't need to take the throw in quickly. He threw it to Mundell. Mundell lost the ball. He tracked back and he made a silly foul. And I mean, he's quite lucky.
Well, he's done it already this season once, hasn't he? Got a silly red card at home. Yeah, I mean, To give them the benefit of the doubt, some of these players have been away at the African nations for a good month. Some of them, Reinildo, Sadiki in the middle, they've been asked to come on and start 90 minutes in a tough game away at West Ham, and maybe Reinildo wasn't at the fit races today. I think we've already mentioned Mundell wasn't. I think and Trey Hume wasn't. I think another big problem was Mayenda, who we just couldn't get the ball to in the first half. Didn't get the ball to him at all. And then the other problem, just talking about playing people out of position, or people not being in the best position perhaps, or trying to work out what is the best position. I don't think Enzo Lafay was really at the races in the first half, at least, as well. So
I think he came on it in the second half, didn't he?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
But,
Enzo came into it more in the second half. He was getting on the ball more, but he was way too deep. Like, normally you see him high up the pitch, getting the ball, but he was like picking up the ball just outside our area, driving forward, and that's why you don't want Enzo there. I mean, Justin, you made a good point there about Mayenda. I mean, people have been saying Mayenda probably needs to play up front with another striker. Today he had that. He got taken off. Was it half time he got taken off, or was it a bit after? I think he got taken off.
About halfway through the second half.
Yeah, Isidore came on. So, I mean, if I'm looking at this image that we're looking at now, Justin, we've got there Somerville, Fernandez, Bowen, 3 of their 4 midfield players, wingers, getting goals. And you look at ours, and I think Trey Hume had a shocker, Mundell had a shocker, Mayenda didn't get into the game. I think that's like the difference, that we haven't got that creative spark, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, and Dermot mentioned like Hume's header. I mean, love his effort, but I mean, he's a terrible header of the ball. And it was just proven again. I mean, yeah, he just falls apart in the box, isn't he? He's just like got no composure whatsoever. I don't think. It's like he's trying too hard. And yeah, I mean, he did that. Probably the last person you wanted that one to fall to. But I think it was his positional discipline today was gone as well. I think he's been used to playing in that sort of more fluid 4-5-1 where he can drift inside and one of the other three midfielders will cover for him when he does that. But today with the 4-4-2, he was just getting lost and we're leaving like acres of space when he drifted inside. And like Mayenda he was just didn't do anything. You could argue he didn't get very much of the ball, but when he did, he didn't do anything with it. He wasn't pressing, and yeah, he looked better when we went to more of that 4-5-1 in the second half. He was playing a bit wider, but yeah, the damage was already done by that point.
Yeah, Dermot.
I think that's the thing. I think that's the thing with Mayenda. We don't know where his best position is.
I don't think he knows.
I mean, I don't know where he was actually playing in that first half because he wasn't close to Bobby. He wasn't on the right wing.
Yeah.
Because Trey Hume was supposedly on the right wing, but Trey Hume wasn't on the right wing. So there was a bit of a disconnect between where Trey Hume was, where Mayenda was. Mundle was obviously stuck on the left coming in, and as you said, didn't do his defensive work. Yeah, I think it was a little bit to do with the whole setup today, and players just didn't seem to know what their jobs were like we normally do, and it all comes back to the fact that we were missing Granit Xhaka, who's the kingpin in the middle there, who's making everything tick.
Yeah. Justin, so I don't know if you can see the screen, you can see the highlight, right? So we're going to look at this first goal, and as you mentioned before, Bowen thought, again, he's a very good player, got the better of Reinildo, he stands him up, puts a very good ball in, doesn't he?
Yeah, and was on his weaker foot as well.
Yeah,
it was a very, very good cross. But I mean, as you look at it come in, Adoretti and Ballard are busy. Mukiele's just stood ball watching.
Yeah.
Essentially, Somerville gets a free header. It's only sort of he eventually realizes that he's going to get the ball. That Mukiele engages, and by that time it's too late. It almost goes straight through roofs. But yeah, he had no chance on that one.
Yeah, we're basically asking Robin Roos to make a Craig Gordon save, aren't we?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Dermot, is that a disappointing goal to concede, considering that we did have the third or fourth best defensive record in the league up until a few games ago?
Just the only thing I'd say on this goal, and we're watching it now thanks to your fantastic technical innovation of being able to watch the goals as we're talking about them. It's almost like being on Sky Sports, this. But from where you're showing that goal, we don't see it initially, where Bowen gets the ball in loads of space, and I think Reinildo gave him loads of space and was a bit slow in closing him down. So I think we said before, who wasn't quite at the races today, Reinildo was one of them. He got hooked at half time. He could have been sent off. I think he was also very slow in closing Bowen down, and which gave Bowen the time to put in that get to the byline. But initially, when Bowen got the ball, he had loads and loads of space, and he just decided he was going to hit the byline. Reinildo, where you've paused it there, Reinildo looks quite close to him. But he wasn't originally when Bowen got the ball. He was miles away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Bowen is a good player. We know he's a good player. He's, they said on TV today, he's got the most involvements in West Ham goals in the Premier League, over 100. You know, he's obviously given a lot of assists, and that was one of them, and it was very good. And it was a great header as well. Mukiele could have got a bit closer, perhaps, but you know, you can't. Sometimes you just got to applaud the other team, and that was a good goal. The third goal was a good goal as well, which we'll talk about in a minute as well. But yeah, good team goal. A bit disappointing. I think Reinildo could have closed them down and perhaps at fault initially in the build-up.
And I think, Justin, as well, it's kind of disappointing to concede that goal after 14 minutes when we actually had a bright start, didn't we?
Yeah, like you said, we came out the blocks quite quickly, and probably let them back into the game. And as Dermot says, we were just giving them too much space, and not close. Like the press wasn't working. We weren't closing players down, and And yeah, I think you could argue perhaps Ronaldo thought that Bowen would cut inside on his left foot. I mean, that was kind of what he did against us in the opening game of the season. But in this time he goes outside and puts the cross in, and he was just never able to recover from that. So yeah, it was sort of a culmination of some bad play from the team generally, letting them get away with it really.
Right, Dermot, you're gonna have to explain yourself some because you said that they got a lucky penalty. Looking at that image, I think it's pretty conclusive, isn't it?
I know. I saw it from two different angles. There's another angle where it looks like Trey Humes hardly stuck his leg out, but he has there. But the fella, he didn't need to. The fella was going nowhere.
Yeah.
And you can see is that Mukiele right behind him as well.
Yeah.
The ball was only going into Mukiele, who was about to clear it. So the fella did well. He's a young lad, is he? Sharples or something? He just burst into the box, didn't he? And Trey Hume, gave away. I think it's a soft penalty more than it is obviously a penalty from that angle.
Well, I think when you stick your leg out like that, obviously the players these days, you know what they do? They kind of look for the contact really, rather than expect the basically they look for the contact rather than getting the contact. Naturally. I think
that's what it is. I think the fella, instead of the ball was he gave it up as a lost cause really, and decided to put his leg up against Hume's leg, which was outstretched. You can see from there, and penalty, but a soft penalty.
Yeah, Justin, no complaints about this.
Soft penalty on our.
Yeah, Justin, no complaints.
Yeah, not really. No, I mean, when I saw it in real time, a bit like Dermot, I thought it was a soft one, and I wasn't sure that there was contact. The first replay was, I think, probably the one that Dermot's referring to, where it does look like he barely touched him. But then you got this one here, where it's, I mean, in ice hockey parlance, that's a hip check. So I mean, you won't get away with that in the penalty area. I mean, they were never going to overturn it. So yeah, it was just another piece of poor play by Mr. Hume.
Yeah, I apologise, Dermot. I don't have the foul in full replay because they were all blocked because of copyright infringement. So, but I think that photograph does it justice. And then, go on.
I think he's kind of half stuck his leg out and tried to drag it back, perhaps. But he didn't go in with a full foul anyhow. It was a penalty, yeah.
Right, and then Justin, Jared Bourne, I think he takes a very good penalty and he tucks it in nicely.
Yeah, I mean, they were saying in the comms after the match that if you watch, well, you can't see it from this clip, but his standing foot actually slips as he makes contact with the ball.
Oh wow! I didn't notice that.
Which is probably why Roofs got as close to it as he did do. But yeah, it's perfectly placed, that one. You don't save those.
Mm-hmm. Right then, Dermot, the third goal for West Ham. I mean, I'm always disappointed when a keeper gets beaten from like 25, 30 yards, but is it just a good shot or could we have done better?
It's a great shot, but West Ham had already got to the byline, already had a shot blocked out. I think it's Ballard got the block in, and then that's a great shot. And Roofs, in fact, on the TV, they were kind of surprised that Roofs actually got a hand to it and nearly made a fantastic save, but it was just hit so powerfully that there's not much you could do to it. But what I remember thinking at this stage was, why are we not stretching the game and trying to go for 2-1 and trying to get players up the pitch and get to the byline and do what West Ham just did to us there? So,
Yeah, just now, I've paused it here because like 43 minutes, 2-0 down. Look at how open it is.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, like, where's Trey Hume? And all of a sudden, you'll see in a minute when Hume comes into picture. Oh, turn the volume down, don't want to get bland. Hume's actually running there into the box, and all of a sudden he's like backtracking, turns around.
Probably looking to trip somebody else up. I think the disappointing part for the goal for me was that all of our defenders and some of our midfielders were kind of caught on their heels when the ball came back out of the box. We were very slow to push back up again. I think that's given Fernandez the time and space to line the ball up and welly it. Like you say, Roofs Roofs did well to get a hands on. They, again, on the comms that I was watching, they suggested he could have done better, but I mean the ball was moving and it was hit really, really, really hard. I think he did well to get anything on it. So yeah, it really is one of those goals that you just have to sort of tip your hat and sort of and accept it. But yeah, I think we were just clueless first half. I mean, we just didn't really, after that first 5-10 minutes or so, we barely laid a glove on them going forwards, which was, for me, that was the disappointing thing.
Yeah, Dermot.
Look how far out it is, though. Sorry, it's miles out the box.
Yeah, he must be like, what? Is that 30 yards, you reckon?
It's got to be 35 yards, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, look, we've got 3 players here. Possibly a criticism is that we didn't learn our lesson from the Man City game, where Ruben Diaz picked it up and just like slow to get out. We just need to get out faster, possibly, or not? Or is it just, I don't know. Dan, what do you think?
I was going to say it was similar to the goal at Man City. You just reminded us who scored it. Yeah, it was, and that was the 3rd goal just before half time, I think, as well, which finished us off.
Yeah.
You look at the clip there, though. Yeah. There's eight of our players between Fernandes and Roofs, and then they're not really doing anything other than just obscuring his view. So.
Well, yeah, and I don't know who is this. Enzo, I think it is, might be in the middle here. Just kind of like lifts a lazy leg up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think it's
Ballard.
Enzo.
It nearly took Ballard's head off. There was an angle on the TV where Ballard nearly got his head to it. And these are ones that we see throughout the season. We've seen them blocking loads of really good, long shots and being very brave and putting the blocks in. And I mean, he just couldn't get to that one, and that was it. It's just one of those things. It's a great goal as well. But I think we're stretched because West Ham have already, just prior to this, have got to the byline, haven't they? They got the ball to the byline, pulled it back, a shot came in, and now we're stretched. We've got players at the back, a long way from the ball, and he hit it really well. I mean, it was a sucker punch for the 3rd goal that really killed the game for us.
Yeah, I think, look, for me here, right, it's just like, listen, the ball's out there, but our 2 players here, they're just standing. Like, I think,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's walking. You shouldn't be walking there, I think. You should be getting out and closing them down. So for me, that's the most frustrating thing about that. But anyway, yeah, it was a terrific goal, and I think he got man of the match, didn't he? Did he get man of the match? Or maybe, I don't know.
He did.
Yeah.
Andy Gray gave him man of the match, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Andy Gray, you're watching that one, were you? Bloody hell. Yeah. Right, anyway, half-time.
No, sorry, not Andy.
Ali McCoy,
not Andy Gray. Ali McCoy, yeah, same thing. Same thing, really, isn't it? Mouthy Norwegian.
Right, Justin, 3-0 half-time. I mean, I was kind of hopeful. If we can go in at half-time 2-0, I thought if we get a goal, second half, early goal, we could put them under pressure. But I think for me, that 3rd goal just like took the wind out, and it kind of like, I felt, yeah, that's it. But did you feel the same?
We've scored 5 goals. Up until this point, we'd scored 5 goals away from home all season. So, yeah, I didn't. 2-0, that you thought maybe we might get back into it. 3, I think, was a bridge too far for us. But, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Dermot, we did get a goal. Was it like the 66th minute? I mean, it's not a bad time to score. There's like plenty of time to get a goal. Reggie made some changes. He took Trey Hume off, Reynaldo, Mundell, Diarra and Serkin and Talby came on. I mean, Diarra was probably the most involved, I would say. Serkin got a bit involved, Talby not so much. But I suppose he had to do something, didn't he?
He had to, and I think at 3-0 down, I was quite pleased to see the 3 changes at half time. We didn't really change the game, though, in the 15 minutes up to this goal that we got. We didn't really look like scoring. I'm not sure where in that second half. I don't know where Diarra was playing.
He was like more on the right, wasn't he?
He was playing very deep on the right, wasn't he? Then dropping in the middle, and I don't know. But anyhow, they gave it a go. They stretched the game a bit. They took the game to West Ham. We didn't create anything. That's our problem. We know that's our problem. And then suddenly we got this goal where we did create something, and it was a good run from Mukelele, who we know has got a very good cross when he gets into that position. And a good finish from Robbie, which is good to see as well. The only real plus from the whole game was getting another goal away from home. But again, it showed that when we're chasing the game in the second half, looking to get 3 goals, we only really created 2 more chances, I think, apart from this. We never looked like getting back into it, really. And that is our problem, creating chances. So, wherever this chance, we're looking at this goal now, it came from a nice turn on the halfway line. Who's that? Is that Diarra?
It's Diarra driving forward, yeah.
Diarra driving forward, so hopefully we're going to get more of that, which is going to, allow us to create more chances, because he does look a bit of a dynamic player. I thought he was great in the first game of the season against West Ham. I was at that game, the first game when we beat them 3-0. I thought Diarra was great in that game. So hopefully it's like having a new signing. Doesn't look like we're going to be signing anyone, so it looks like Diarra is our transfer window signing for the winter, because he's hardly played, and hopefully we're going to see more of this, where we're seeing him play Mukulele getting down the right, and good finish from Brian Brobby again. So again, the only plus of the game was this goal.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Justin, I don't think we really deserved to get back into the game, did we? Because we weren't doing much at that time. So it came as a plus. It was a very nice goal. I suppose, like as Dermot said, like the only plus is that Bobby gets another goal. It's good for his confidence. He gets a header. Talk us through what you think about this goal.
Yeah, I mean, it was nicely worked, but to your point, we hadn't really done very much up to that point. I mean, West Ham was sitting back off us a little bit more. We changed shape a bit. I think Sadiki dropped that deeper into the holding midfield, and Diarra was on the right side of the midfield triangle, and Lefay was on the left side. I did actually think that Diarra had lost control of the ball when he took a bit of a heavy touch, but managed to kind of poke it through the West Ham left back's legs. And Mukiele seems to be getting more and more known for these long busting runs upfield. Yeah. Great cross, and like Dermot said, nice finish from Robbie. I mean, that's all you can ask for your centre forward, is to get on the end of those kind of balls. So it was a nice team goal.
Yeah, no, and like Mukiele, he does whip in a good cross, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Dermot, so 3-1 then. Obviously, we're kind of thinking, well, that's the kind of lifeline we needed to get a goal, silence the crowd a little bit. But we didn't really kick on. We had like a bit of possession, but again, we didn't really create anything. We didn't really capitalize on getting that goal back, did we not?
No, I think that was a disappointing thing. I thought at 3-1, with 25 minutes to go, if we got another one quickly, there was a chance. There was a chance of getting back to 3-3 and pulling back a great point away from home after being 3-0 down. West Ham would have been fragile. They've been poor at home all season. They've conceded a lot of goals. They were saying all the game as well that Areola's not kept a clean sheet, so we were always going to get one at some stage. Just don't think we took the game to them as much as we could have, and we had a lot of attacking players on there in the second half. So it's a bit worrying. Away from home, we've been like that all season.
Yeah.
As I said at the beginning, I think we only seem to have a chance of getting a point away from home when we keep it very tight and stay in the game as long as possible and maybe nick a win. But when the game's wide open and we need to chase it and we go 2 goals down like we did today, we never look like getting back. We never look like scoring more than the odd consolation goal.
Yeah. And I think we had a chance, didn't we, just in the second half, where Wilson hit a volley. That would have been like 3 points for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
So
not his best finish, was it?
No, but yeah, I thought he got in the right position, and he anticipated. He was anticipating that the player in front of him.
Yeah.
I don't think it wasn't.
He shaped upright for it. I mean, it was a cross from the left, wasn't it? That kind of bypassed the entire central defense, and he was just stood there. I mean, it would have been a hell of a finish if he had put it in, but yeah, I mean, he nearly kicked that out of the park, didn't he? So yeah,
right.
I've forgotten that one.
And go on, Dermot.
I think it was nice bit of work from Talby. I think, just to give him a bit of credit, I think he did a little bit on the left for that. And I mean, if Wilson had managed to smash that into the top corner, there was time then. It was 3-2. And then the other thing I just wanted to say as well was '09 came on, and they treated him badly on the TV. I thought he meant that shot. '09's shot nearly went in, and he sneaked in the top corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think from one angle it looks as if he knows exactly what he's doing.
He's toe poker, isn't he? He's kind of like toe poker. It's like a football Salah, isn't it? A futsal kind of shot, isn't it?
But I think he saw his quick opportunity, and I think he went for it, and that was nearly a goal as well. But on TV they were kind of laughing, saying it was like a freak or a fluke of he didn't mean that at all. I don't know. I thought
it is Luke '09. You never know, do you not?
You just
Justin,
never know.
did we lose our discipline a little bit? Because we're going to watch a clip now where Alderete is not even looking at the ball. He's squaring up to one of their players.
Yeah. It all seemed to stem from like Xhaka was getting dogs abuse on the bench.
Yep.
From the West Ham fans, and there was a break in play where the fourth official went to talk to the stewards, and the stewards, I don't know if they kicked anybody out or
Doesn't look like it, no.
But yeah,
well, I don't know how that's got anything to do with what's going on here, though.
Well, no, I mean, Alderete is a head case at the best of times, isn't he? So I think any excuse to put the knot on someone.
It's good to see, I think, as well, that we need a bit of that to survive and to get through some battles. And, Miguel is a bit like that as well. And Reynaldo, as we said before, has got a bit of that as well, haven't they?
Well, he had a bit of a rant, didn't he, with Mukiele when he got taken off? But he was like holding his finger before because he got trampled on his back. But he wasn't happy when he got taken off, was he not?
He didn't like being taken off, which might just be a sign that there's a bit of there's going to be some egos in that team as well. They're all, some of them are big players, come from big clubs, and maybe he doesn't like the fact that he's getting replaced by little old Luke '09 coming on for the last 10 minutes. So he was definitely not happy at getting taken off. So we know that the wheels are going to come off at some stage. This is Sunderland. We know that there's going to be some players who throw the toys out the pram, and some players who won't last the distance. We think we've got a good team of great signings who've all done more or less done well up to now. We have done very well, but there's always going to be some trouble ahead at some stage, isn't there?
Aye. Right then, Justin. So we'll quickly move on to the next game. Burnley at home. Burnley is struggling. You imagine that they'll just basically come next week and sit back and try and take a point, I would imagine. Frustrate us. I think we need a big performance next week, don't we, to get over this?
Yeah, I mean we've not lost 2 games in a row yet this season, so I would see this. I wouldn't say it's a must win, but definitely a must not lose. And you would really fancy our chances to beat a very poor Burnley side, to be honest. Just depends on. I guess it depends on how bad Xhaka's injury is. There was some talk that they were going to try and manage it, manage his minutes and sort of ease him through a couple of games. I mean, the Burnley game would be, I think, possibly less of a concern if he misses it, to be honest. But we've got a lot to work on in training in the next week, basically to get the team organised. And I think Reggie needs to get the team knowing what shape they're going to be playing in, so we can set up properly for that. Because we don't want another performance like that first half.
No. Right. Listen, we're going to do under 40 minutes, so that's good. So Dermot, very quickly, transfer window is approaching, closing soon. Are you optimistic that we'll bring 1 or 2 in? Was that a kind of message from Reggie today to say, listen, this is what I've got. If you want to kind of push on, we need a couple of players in.
At the moment, the way the club works, you wouldn't be surprised if someone turned up on Monday morning that we've not heard anything about, because that's how they've been doing the transfer business. But I wouldn't be disappointed if we don't sign anyone as well. They've signed all these players for such little amounts of money that you've got to put your trust in them. It's not a good transfer window anyhow. We're not going down. We were 3 points off Champions League place today. You would like to think we could still push for a decent European place, and I think a decent European place is getting in the Europa League, not getting in the Conference League, which I think might be a bit of a waste of our time next season. But I wouldn't be disappointed if we continue with the group of players that we've got. There's also talk of a couple of players maybe getting away. So, like if Wilson Isidore's been mentioned, I don't think he got too many minutes today. I think at 3-0 down, he could have been expecting to come on a bit earlier, than he only got 18 minutes. He would probably be thinking that he should be ahead of Mayenda as well. So maybe he wants to go away and get more minutes elsewhere. Luke O'Nien could be away. Dan Neil,
Patterson. Yeah,
I think it's got to be one out, one in, though, hasn't it? I think at the moment, I think if Dan Neil goes, then we have to bring in a central midfielder. If Isidore goes, seems to be rumoured, we have to bring in a forward. I think we could do with a right winger, but like Dermot says, I think the core of the squad is there really. I don't think there's really any burning need for us to sign players. I think if we got through January without signing anybody else, I think we'd survive. It's just the question is whether we want to push on or not.
Yep, I agree. Right, lads, we'll call it a day. There's no knee-jerk reactions from us today, but so if you are a Sunderland fan, listen to this podcast and fuck social media because it'll be full of toss-pots on there. But listen, Justin, Dermot, thanks for your time. Try to enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to go out for a couple of beers in Bilbao. But anyway, lads, thanks a lot. How are the lads? Keep the faith, and we'll be back next week. Cheers.
Cheers, Lee. Away, lads.
Cheers.